What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All Things Super. I am one of your hosts, Spider, and I am joined not by Mr. Fantastic, but Mr. VIP, Frankie Washington. How are you doing today, sir?
I am infinitely awesome, sir. Thank you for asking. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing very
No,
well.
one not fantastic. You're not
No,
doing
no, no, not
fantastic.
fantastic.
Two
No.
on the nose.
Two on the nose. Two on the
Well,
nose.
here's the thing. I don't have a thing to show you that's inappropriate. I
See,
wouldn't show you
you
my
could
thing.
you should have got yourself just like a printout. You could have
Of a
just put,
thing?
yeah, and then you're gonna be like, here's the thing.
Well, it isn't anything a thing.
That is
Could
very true.
couldn't
That
this
is
be a thing?
that is a thing.
And this thing is my thing.
You
So
can't
I
be
did show
you
you.
can't
I
be
did show you
you
my
you
thing.
can't be showing your thing on
I
video.
I know. I just yeah.
All right, cut. We're
I'm
gonna start over.
inappropriate. I'm gonna try. I'm trying not to show you my thing.
No, but we are talking about Mr. Fantastic, along with the Thing, along with the Invisible Woman and the Human Torch. We are talking about
Flame on!
the.
We didn't get a flame on. I didn't hear a flame on.
Did
Did
he
you hear
not
a
say it
flame
when he
on?
jumped off the balcony?
I did not hear a flame on at all.
Maybe
I
he.
heard a it's clobbering time, and
Uh,
the emphasis on sale is clobbering time. Is
no, maybe I guess we didn't get a flame on.
no the most iconic line in comics is probably flame on. Argue it if you don't. What else? What else? Not Excelsior. Nobody's saying Excel. Flame on is what you say when you know you just about to engulf your whole body in flames and fly. Like it's on. It's on. It's flame. It's go time. Flame on. You saying that on a football field on the game? Flame. I'm on fire, but you can't. Flame on. What? I'm catching it with one hand. Flame. What? Okay, we fantastic though,
they
which
they
also
uh,
didn't
they had
didn't
they had
show
a
up.
different take on it. I guess I don't know.
It's
I I
clapping
I
time.
wouldn't have mind if they did, but I guess they just decided not to.
I'm not gonna hate on this clobbering time. You know, CM Punk does it, and he ain't got sued yet. So
He has not.
yeah, well,
But before we get into talking about the
oh yeah,
movie,
okay, we got to
let's
do that,
talk
huh?
about who we
We
are
do our
because
intro.
this is
Yeah,
All Things
yeah,
Super, where every week we
that's
take a
us.
piece of superpowered
You and
movie,
me,
TV shows,
these
even
guys,
trailers. We watch them, we react to them, we
us,
break them down, we review them, and we ask the
ensemble,
question:
the
is
dynamic
it
duo.
super?
It's super. Yeah, see, I had twinsies. He wasn't even ready. Twinsies.
But if you
Is
like
it
that,
super though?
we'll find out. But if you like that, go ahead, subscribe to the
I
channel, hit the
know what
bell so
that
you can
means,
be
folks.
so you can be reminded when we have new episodes that drop. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And if you want to reach out to us on social media, just click the link in the description below.
Listen, he is so good at that. I have to mess with him. He is really good at it. I can't do it. I just be talking. Anyway, so Fantastic Four is here, Spider.
Yeah, Fantastic Four
The
have been
first
here.
version we've ever seen on the big screen.
If only
We
that were
are
true.
going to
If
not
only that were
ever
true.
pay attention to any version
Listen,
other than, huh?
say what you want.
What are you talking about?
I enjoyed Chris
Michael B. Jordan was
Evans
the
and Ian
what?
Grufford
The
and Jessica
first
Alba and Michael
version
Chiklis.
ever seen on the big screen of the first family of Marvel is finally here. Let me tell you something. For those who are uninitiated, I'm young enough to know how important the Fantastic Four was. Though I didn't pick up a single Fantastic Four comic,
Mhm.
they were still known by many people, at least where I was, of them being this awesome family that was superheroes. And when I found out more about them, I'm like, yo, these guys are look how they kind of bicker and they don't get along with their family,
Mhm.
and they're out and they're making they're explorers. What do you mean they're not? They're not. They're explorers? Okay, wow, that's different. And then next thing you know, they're like iconically big. So much so that Marvel started introducing characters through the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That's where we got the introduction of Black Panther. In fact, Black Panther came in the gate whooping their ass, and like I just wanted to see what y'all. I heard about y'all. Want to see what y'all about? Y'all ain't shit. Just want y'all
Let
to
me
know
go ahead and
that.
go back to Wakanda.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
wasting
come
my
on to
time
my
coming out
house. Let
here.
me come on to my house. And let me take care of y'all. Y'all just want to see if y'all could do so. Y'all can't do shit. I wanted to see if y'all was a threat to Wakanda. Literally, what he said. I wanted to see if y'all was a threat to Wakanda. But that's how popular they were because they started introducing other characters. Then we joke around about these other iterations, but they could not get this right. And even though that first one yeah, was enjoyable, there
Hmm.
was something to
Yeah.
build off of, but they got real kind of. And it could have been the technology of their time, or it could have been trial and error of their times. I mean, this movie learned from those mistakes. So without those movies,
Right.
we wouldn't have had this one. So
Yeah.
it's not like none of it went into vain.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like when we did our Superman review, that was kind of how I felt about that because it was basically had we not got the DCEU and the Man of Steel and Zack Snyder's Justice League and Batman v Superman and all of that, and
Yeah, yeah,
we see the other ways that Superman could be portrayed, and then we
yeah.
get a more comic accurate, more lighthearted Superman. Is like you appreciate this is kind of what people who enjoy Superman have been looking for rather than what we've gotten in previous years. So I think it's the same for Fantastic Four in that if you've seen the older ones, I think you look at this one in a different light as opposed to if you hadn't seen the older ones. But hopefully if you hadn't seen the older ones, it's still enjoyable as well. Because one thing I will say is that they're touted as the first family of superheroes. They're the first family of
Mm-hmm.
Marvel and everything. And I
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
feel like that there were a lot of moments in this movie where that family dynamic was felt. Right, it's always so
Mm.
you do a better job of showing us, not telling us. Yes, you can tell us that they're a family. Yes, you can tell us that Sue and Johnny are related. Reed and Sue are married. You can tell us that Johnny and Ben bicker all the time, but to see them act it out, to see how it does seem like Ben is the sort of glue that holds them all together. How Johnny is, even though he's an adult, you can see he's still the youngest, so they regard
Mm.
him less, even if he's trying to tell them important information. You see the
Mm.
relationship that Sue and Reed have and how they didn't shy away from that marital conflict that Sue and Reed get into because of Reed neuroses and how he is and how he has to intellectually analyze everything and how that doesn't really leave too much room for emotional compassion, right? And for Sue to actually be able to voice how he makes her feel. I felt like that was probably one of the most powerful things that could have happened in the movie because again, you can tell us that they're the first family, but for us to be able to actually see them be a family because over the course of the film, we got more of the dynamic of them collaborating together than we did of them being superheroes, right? We we
Mm.
we got more of the tell not show of the beginning introduction where they open on the Ted Gilbert show and it's like the first thing he said, we all know the story. 4 years ago, four astronauts go up into space and they come back with their DNA forever altered, forever changed. And you go into it, it's like who the Fantastic Four are because, like you said, they're one of the most famous groups of superheroes
Right.
to in comics
There's
history.
so many iterations of Fantastic Four spawned the Incredibles.
Mm-hmm.
The Fantastic Four spawned the Adventure Brothers. The Fantastic Four spawned Lost in Space. I could go on and on and
Yeah,
on. They were really that big that
pioneers.
they birthed a whole lot of superhero genre. You could not deny who they were. They were a family of explorers They had the Invisible Woman, and you was wondering how was Reed able to find it. It didn't matter. He could stretch it. He could stretch it, and he can get it in there. And with his pliable physiologically, he can make his brain whatever it needs to be the smartest man. You go lose your girl, but he married. He's happily married to Sue, who he had to lead. You know, like how Popeye had Bruto. Reed got Doctor Doom. He got Victor, but we gonna get into that later because
We'll
that
talk about
post
that
credit
later.
scene is crazy. And then ultimate guilt for feeling responsible for the experience, well, the
For the accident,
incident
yeah,
that
incident
happened
that
that
changed
made
them.
his best friend a hideous rock monster. Because nobody's you're not even supposed to be rock like that longer than 4 hours. You got to call the doctor if you rocked up like that for longer than 4 hours. They say you're supposed to report that. And he walking around bricked up all the time,
24/7.
24/7, no days off, just rocked up. And then you got the human torch that's just burning things. It's starting to feel like a little medical commercial. It's starting to feel real. Like if you experimenting, the WandaVision commercial
I mean, it's funny you should
sound
say
effects
that
thing.
because because Fantastic Four was directed by Matt Shackman, who did WandaVision. So
I'm just saying, if they all got symptoms, if they symptoms,
I
you
don't,
know what I'm
I don't, I
saying?
don't think they all have symptoms. But one thing that we talked about when we reviewed the trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps was the CG of Ben Grimm as the Thing. We talked about
Yeah, man.
how one of the scenes where he was standing out in the street at night and you could tell like the light was
Yeah.
on his cast because he's wearing a hat, so the light was
Talk
cast on his
about it.
face
Talk about
a
that
weird
eyebrow.
way.
Yeah.
You said that his eyebrows looked wrong. You said he looked dusty. Um,
He definitely got that ashy. He got that ashy. He don't look like smooth rock. He look like he kind of, you know what I'm saying?
but there were actually some scenes, and
Hmm.
far be it from me to be able to point out which ones they were and which ones they weren't, where
It's not hard. You just got to point at it.
Abimaz
Use any
Baccarat, who
finger you want.
played Ben Grimm, was actually in a fully a prosthetic suit as Ben Grimm.
What?
There are scenes
What?
where he's in the full suit, but I think if he was speaking in the scene, they CG'd his
With the dots?
right with his face.
When
They
they
did the
put the
motion capture
freckles on your
as
face,
he
with the
as he
zits on
spoke.
your face?
But there are scenes where he's interacting with things in the like in real time. So that's actually him in the suit.
I'm gonna say this
Hmm.
without rating the movie. So for those who are waiting for our review, just wait a little longer. The the acting in this movie was spot on,
Yes.
and I cannot take that away from this phenomenal cast. Good casting on this one. I gotta
Yeah,
give them
I
that.
agree with that. I do, and this is so. I guess this will be the critical part of the episode.
Here we
Things
go.
that we
Here
don't
we
we
go.
don't really care for. I understand that Sue and Johnny in the comics have blonde
Mm-hmm.
hair, have blue eyes.
Yes.
I feel like you can still give them blonde hair. Like Vanessa Kirby's hair was fine. She most of the time is seen as a blonde. She bleaches
I
her hair,
think
whatever.
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they paid homage to that Tim Story Fantastic Four Stick movie with the stiff wig because in some of those scenes,
You think so?
I think they purposefully made Vanessa Kirby hair doesn't flow like that. It was up and weird in weird ways, and like when she was
I would have
laying
thought that was her own hair.
on the spaceship, right? Clearly, her hair was. I'm not saying it wasn't her hair. I'm saying they styled it to be
Oh,
off-putting.
well, I mean,
Like
they're
when
in
she's laying there on
they're
that.
supposed to be like in the '60s, so it was going to be styled in a different way.
Well, I don't think it was that. There was other characters in there, side characters or just extras that had more age-appropriate hair. Her hair was, I think, on an homage to that stiff wig that we saw
Jessica
Sue
Alba.
Storm. No, I wasn't even going to
What?
say her.
Which
The
Fantastic Four are
Fan
you talking
Four
about?
Stick, the
Oh, you talking
one
about
with
Kate
Michael
Mara?
B. Jordan. Yeah, that wig they gave her was stiffer than
I don't remember her
Tupac.
having a wig on either.
That's not her hair. Her hair can't defy gravity like that. Not holding spray. The wig was stiff. That's what happens when you don't have a good prop person. Those wigs gotta be. Hey, ask anybody that got wigs. They'll tell you. You gotta comb those things out and talk to them, give them names. All kind. There's a routine. There's a routine you do with the wig.
I I can't
Yeah,
I
you
can't.
search the internet. They
No,
talk
because
about how stiff
I'm
that
looking at
wig is.
I'm looking at the pictures on IMDb and I can't tell because every scene that they have her standing in, her hair is blowing in the wind. So I can't
Yeah,
I can't make heads or
yeah.
tails of it.
Nobody can because that wig was doing something. I asked anybody that saw it. Well, what I'm saying is, I think they were doing an homage to that, and if they were, I think there was a
I
nice little shout out.
don't think well, and the Fan Four Stick, that one wasn't Tim Story. Tim Story did the ones with Jessica Alba. That's why I was confused when you said Tim Story.
You know what? I accept full responsibility. That Tim. I'm sorry if you put it in the chat. I promise I'll read it. Uh,
the Fan
but
Four Stick was Josh Trank. He directed that one.
oh well, there you
But
go. He's
no, it's
responsible for that stiff wig. Then
Vanessa Kirby's hair is fine. What I'm talking about is Johnny's hair. Johnny can be
Johnny said,
blonde. Johnny doesn't have to be that blonde.
"What do you mean?
Johnny Storm,
He,
his hair is like insanely blonde, and I'm just saying
yeah,
that
he's a
it's an
yeah,
unrealistic blonde, like because Johnny is not has not canonically dyed his hair blonde, like the
he's a
blonde.
Targaryen."
I mean, he's close to it. He's very close to it.
He's a descendant of a Targaryen. What are you
Didn't
talking
Joseph
about?
Quinn play in Game of Thrones?
I don't know, but if he did, he's not getting the credit he deserves.
Because I know he was in
He was in
Gladiator.
Stranger Things.
Yes, he was. He did an amazing job in Stranger Things. Yeah, he
I
was.
hear,
He was
I
in one
hear.
episode of Game of Thrones.
Well, that's the episode that he was in.
But no, yeah, no, I thought he did a great job as Johnny. I have no problem with Johnny. I just thought that
What do you
his hair
feel
was too
about
blonde and
Johnny
his eyes were
D?
too blue.
Well, it's a comic book movie, so
Yeah, but
simmer
they
down.
can be blue. They can be a realistic blue. They didn't have to
The
be
whole
like that.
the whole world in is not realistic, but what do you think about him being a scientist though
I
versus
no,
the
I love that because every other iteration of Johnny that we see, like Chris Evans, Johnny Storm was hothead, just in a humongous flirt.
he was an
Just he
asshole?
was an asshole, didn't care about responsibility, just wanted to fuck with people. He got powers, he just wanted to abuse them and have fun. He had no
Yeah.
sense of purpose within him. He got a little bit
Right.
better in the second part, but they played Johnny like he played
Maybe that
Johnny
was a
very
character
cat
arc they was trying to
maybe.
take him somewhere.
And then in the Fan Four Stick, Michael B. Jordan's Johnny Storm,
Yeah.
he did have
Too
more
sexy.
intelligence, but it was
Oh, okay.
more of from an like Reed and Victor and Sue were like physicists, whereas Johnny was more like engineering. Like he was into
Engineering.
cars, he was
Yeah.
building stuff. He was more
It
of like
made sense for him to be there in a sense
right
of
of him helping out, lifting stuff,
right.
helping build stuff. He was like almost like a Ben Jr., right? Because
Yeah.
Ben was technically the pilot, but he was basically there to help out with muscle. I mean, even
For
though
those who go ahead, Strat. I didn't mean
well,
to
I was
cut
just
you
gonna
off,
say,
but I
even
was
though when they first started like building the machine to teleport to the different planet or dimension, whatever they did in space, they I think Johnny had his arm was broken or whatever. Yeah, because he got in that car accident.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is known in the Fantastic Four, just their origin story. Sue's brother was there in the spaceship, and we always will wonder, like,
Why?
why?
Right.
Why is, why is he even there? Like, he's not a sign. Like, he was not supposed to be there, but it's not like a stowaway. It was like he was invited to go.
Right.
But like,
And
why?
at least in the 2005, was it 2005 Fantastic Four? I think so. the Tim Story one, they said that Johnny was a pilot. He was a pilot. He was actually in astronaut training, but he washed out of training because he crashed a simulator.
Yeah, well, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, well,
2005.
yeah.
So it's been 20
We gotta
years. 20
we
years
have
to
to
this
make a
Fantastic
reason
Four.
for him to go. But now the fact that he is a scientist,
Yeah,
I will say this though, by Reed saying the most smartest people I know,
yeah, the four brightest minds that I know, and they just so happen to be my wife, my brother-in-law, and my best friend.
I feel like he was being coy, because if that's the case, he just really like shitting on everybody else in the world now. Just we got powers, y'all don't, and but this was before they had powers, so
Right.
that's you just was mean.
But
I
I
can see
mean,
it now.
Johnny was able to figure out a untranslated
He's a
language.
linguist. He's a linguist
Yeah,
now, without the degree, because no, he's a scientist, but now he's a linguist. Nish fish.
just linguist.
Yeah, well, I made
But
my
no,
own
but
language,
I did
so
I
I need you to respect my language, Nish.
no, I did appreciate the fact that they didn't just play him as a dumb flirt, and like they actually allowed him to have like outside of him wanting to go back to space, which that I thought was a little bit weird, just how he was pining to get back up there.
I mean,
um
he came back with some cool powers, so it's not like he upgrade wouldn't be on his mind.
I mean, what more would you want after all of that?
To not burn people when I touch them.
I mean, he
But he
clearly doesn't.
one thing
He could control it.
yeah,
He
he
was
could
able to
control it.
absorb other fire, which I've never seen Johnny Storm do.
I love that they added that. It makes sense. So he just can't go against Pyro, clearly.
I mean, it'll be a standoff.
But I don't think so. We've seen it. It's Pyro 1, Johnny 0. And it's a multiverse. We're still in a multiverse saga. It's relevant. Pyro 1.
Different Johnny Storm though.
Yeah, this is true. Well, Pyro did lose against Iceman. So it's
He
not like
did.
he didn't. We can't, if we're keeping count, I'm just saying. Um, it's interesting though. It's interesting that he did want to go back to space, but again, the guy, he's a scientist and he likes space. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
What do you think about Shia LaBeouf?
I thought she did a great
Shia
job.
LaBeouf.
I
I don't give
thought
a
I
fuck
thought
about
she
fuck.
I thought she did great for what she was given because they didn't really give her a lot to do. I Even though she's of a metallic visage, I felt like they were still able to capture like the regret in her gaze when Johnny's talking to her. He's like, I translated the message. It's a message coming from your world. People that wanted to thank you for giving them a chance. But what about the people you didn't give a chance to? And he's playing the recordings from all of these worlds that
Mm,
she's helped Galactus destroy. And you can see it affecting her. And you see how bad, it makes her feel to now she's cursing another world to be doomed. But what I greatly appreciated was how much they let the Silver Surfer surf. Man, she
oh
was
my God.
leaning, and
Come on.
it was
What?
I don't know how they choreographed it. I don't know who choreographed it. If she was actually
Dude.
on the board, if they had a surfer
Dude.
that they just mocapped or whatever.
What?
But I fully believe that you put Silver Surfer in the Olympics, she's getting gold for everything. She was
Yeah,
in a
she not getting silver. She
in
came with the
a
silver.
warp wormhole. She's surfing that. She was
That was
surfing lava. She was
crazy.
surfing the waves when she got down to Earth.
What about the T2 reference when she came out of the lava?
Awesome.
Oh,
The great scene. Shot beautifully.
yeah, man. I don't know if they I don't know if they know how good they did, cuz you see a silver surfer and they don't surf. And she is like gone when she gone. She like bye and
Yeah.
she is out of there. She is, you don't understand. She is
She not
gone. Like
coasting. She's zooming.
she gone. She like so when she showed up at the end and knocked Johnny off the side, I was like, I didn't see that coming. I really felt like
Just
Quicksilver. You didn't see that
the
coming. I
broadside
didn't.
of the board to his gut just knocked him off his trajectory.
They are not friends, okay? I just want to
No,
establish that she is not interested
no,
in him like he
absolutely
is in
not.
her. The way she looked at him,
When he touched her
and
board, she looked at him like, "I know you not touching my shit."
not the first one. The first time it was awesome because she came out of the board like, "What is this touching my board?" And look at her like, "Oh, it's you!" Like
And then the
you
cold
want
message
to
that
die
she just
with
gave him, "Die with
die
your
with
own."
your people.
Like,
Dude,
don't
that
come
is
after me. Go back to your people and die.
that is. You think this romantic? This is not. She gave me a love message. She was like, "Go amongst your people and be one." Now she like, "Get off my shit. Go down with your people, little bug." And then, yo,
And then gone. But yeah,
yes, it was
that
refreshing
was
to see a surfer surf.
terrifying for her when they were like, "Oh, we just jam the ship into the FTL drive. We're gonna warp. We're gone. We lost her." And then she just comes zooming up.
And I appreciate that we stayed in that scene, in that
Oh,
moment, because usually
that was
they'll
the
they'll
best scene in the movie.
right? Usually they'll cut that scene and just they'll just make it a warp drive or something. We really
Hmm.
watch that scene like what do we do when we can't do anything? Like she's coming, she's fast, can't stay like the brain, okay, think, think, and it's sort of refreshing to see somebody else think of an answer that I didn't have to.
Right, because we already saw
I
the
wasn't
threat
in.
before they jumped into warp speed. How close she got to basically almost taking Franklin out of Sue herself.
The Matrix was the last time you saw that when they almost cut Trinity neck. Okay, that's the closest we get because she was right there. And then you thinking, like you said, now she gone, we
We
good.
lost her.
And
We good.
here
And
she come. Like,
like you
what
cannot
are
get
we doing?
away.
Did you feel like a T2
It felt
Terminator
like,
2 type
yeah,
of
it
sense?
was like you can't stop it. You cannot stop it.
But it was smart the way they did decide to stop it. I mean, it made sense. I don't really understand how they was able to do the diversion, but it
Well,
worked.
what they did
She
is that they made the ship invisible,
okay.
but because it's only I don't know, like the disconnect between Sue making the ship invisible but not making the FTL drive invisible, or she might have made the ship invisible while it was obscured and then they flew out, and so that way when the FTL drive started drifting towards the black hole, that's why we didn't
Yes.
see him, and she didn't make it invisible again until they were already out of
Yeah, I got
the
it, but it
distance of
looked
the
like
pole.
might have to go back and watch it again because it sure looked like they was still in the ship in the FDR drive, and we can achieve hyper jump drive without it. Then why do we have it?
Well, because they did the slingshot around the black hole so they could achieve the speed
The
necessary.
speed, the 88,
Yeah,
88 miles
I mean,
with the
essentially,
flux capacitor.
yeah, 1.21 gigawatts.
There you go. There you go. Doc would be so proud. He would be so proud. What do we think about Galactus? We finally got a comic accurate Galactus.
Hmm.
Not a cloud. Not a not a
Not a
not a
cloud, not a
fucking cloud.
shadow.
Not a shadow. He actually looked like, and then he had like a fun. Here's what I appreciated. Though we seen the Silver Surfer pass through inanimate objects,
Hmm.
helicopter, the ship. Though
Soup.
we see yeah. So we see Galactus is a huge, bigger than a planet, shrink down to the size of a skyscraper. And the reference was given. If it was something in the sense of that you guys could punch it, I'll let you guys punch it, right?
Right.
You can punch it. Yeah. I appreciate being able to have punching, right?
Yeah.
Physical. We can't punch a cloud. And I always said
No.
that when they made him a cloud, I'm like,
Because isn't
can't
that what Johnny
punch.
did in the second Fantastic? Well, Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, didn't he just have to punch Galactus? Because what they were affected by the power cosmic from Silver
Yeah.
Surfer's surfboard. Their powers were swapping between each other, but
Yes.
he absorbed all of them at the like at the
Yes.
climax of the
And it
final battle,
instantly
and he was
became a
like a
Chris
super
Evans movie.
scroll. He was like a super scroll essentially,
Yes, he was.
and then he took all of their powers and he punched Galactus in the face, in his cloud
I'm
face.
so happy that they stopped doing that one punch nonsense. This is not One Punch Man. You
No,
really had
this is one push woman. That's who.
what? Talk about a migraine. Oh my God.
Not even that's just a head splitting tumor at that point.
If she knew how strong she was, she could have killed Galactus immediately.
And here's the thing that I would have appreciated that they did, because we had the situation with Violet in the Incredibles, in the first Incredibles movie, right? She
Yes.
essentially has the same powers of Sue Storm.
Look how good we are. Same universe. We're proud of us.
But of course, in that movie, she was basically just a teenager, like 13, 14
Yes.
years old, whatever. And her mom
Yes.
is asking her to
Only one with
make the
dark hair.
plane, put a force field around the plane, um, because they have missiles that are firing at them. And she's saying that
Yes.
she's never made anything that big. And she's in a
Yes.
high intense, high pressure situation. Her mom's yelling at her, Dash is screaming and shouting, the alarms are
Mm-hmm.
going off, there are missiles coming at
Mm-hmm.
her, and she's sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
she's trying her hardest to make that force field, and ultimately she fails. And they get
Yes.
blown out of the sky. What I would have
Incredible scene.
appreciated,
No
yes,
pun intended.
I do understand that Sue has a mastery of her powers, or a command of her powers. I won't say she has a mastery because she kind of leveled up at the end. But what I would have appreciated is that when Reed asked her to make the ship invisible while she's in labor, first I would have liked her to say, Reed, it's too big. I can't focus. I can't do it. And then so he starts to plead with her to try to do it. And so she's trying, she's focusing. It's like starts to blink in and out. And they're like,
Yeah.
we're losing cover because they're trying to hide from Silver Surfer. And then only at the last
Yes.
second, she's able to do it. I would have liked to
Yes.
see her struggle with it at some point, to where we get to the final scene and she's pushing Galactus into the to the black hole. That this is why it's too much. There are upper limits to her powers that she hasn't tested yet.
Captain. Yeah.
And so instead of her like, oh, well, this is just something I can do now, we would have seen
Well,
that like incremental struggle to get to the point
here.
to where now I have to push beyond what I've pushed before, to because he's powerful. He's all powerful. This is a power that we've never come up against before. So I
He
have to
is
dig deeper
from
than
the
I've ever dug.
universe. So,
He's from a previous universe,
so he's basically fighting a god by
essentially.
herself.
Someone who is older than time
By herself.
by herself.
Pushing him in a teleporter that I'm pretty sure he knew was a teleporter.
He absolutely knew it was a trap. It was the most obvious trap looking trap you could.
Smartest
Oh,
man
I'm gonna
in the
gonna
universe.
sit this baby carrier in the middle
Smartest
of
man on the
this
planet.
triangle platform,
Step
and
right here.
like,
Step
yes,
right
I
here.
know he's 30 stories tall, but he can
I can
still
see
see
it.
you all standing right there waiting for him to step into it.
Step right here. No, come get our baby. Step right here. Bitch, I could see you from the bay. I saw you when I was by the Statue of
I
Liberty. I
saw
was
you
looking
when I
at
was
your Statue
sniffing.
of
I saw
Liberty.
you when I was sniffing the dirt.
What the fuck? What we
No, but
doing?
I love in that scene where he picked up the dirt and he started sniffing it, and Johnny's around the corner. It's like, what the hell
What
is
the
he
fuck you
doing?
doing? Y'all, y'all got that good weed here. Yeah, I know y'all got it. Y'all know, I smell it. I smell it. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm about to eat
I'm
this.
about to inhale this whole planet.
This whole planet me about to get cloud on y'all.
About to inhale a whole planet full of trees.
Yo, I guess this is the part where we go just switch the paradigm and just talk about it then, because some things did not really make sense,
Yeah,
and that is some of them, and one of them, and they were doing a lot with this, and this movie should stand on its own and not be in comparison to the previous ones before it. But
right.
there's a lot of reference. They didn't shy away from those previous ones. I think they kind of paid respect to them in a very respectful way. But The fact that I ain't get no flame on, I feel some kind of way about it,
You
Spider.
feel
And I'm
you
just gonna
feel
say
you
that.
feel cheated.
I feel cheated. And then let's talk about the clobbering Tom again. If he's saying it in the show, the cartoon, I
Mm-hmm.
understand that the people want him to say it,
Yeah,
right?
I can
They like
understand.
because
I
he's
understand the build up
yeah, but why does Johnny want him to say it?
because Johnny likes fucking with him.
There was not a lot of Johnny fucking with him in this movie compared to the
There was
first one.
compared to the compared to the first one. Johnny was
Compared
a
to the first
menace.
one, he's
Chris,
just a
I think Chris
terrorist.
Evans had way too much fun messing with Michael Chiklis in that movie. Literally, they get back from space after having this accident, and the first thing that happens when Ben wakes up is Johnny is fucking with him, telling him that he's ugly beyond comprehension. And Ben looks at
Hmm.
his face and he's normal. Did you see how? Remember how fast he chucked that mirror at Johnny when he was running out the room?
That is crazy.
But yeah,
But
they it
you
was
don't
definitely
get
was
that
not
as
at that
much as
level.
it. Did you appreciate that, or you do appreciate that because of that's what we known, or if we're accepting of these guys are more of a family? And again, they say they nerf things because they want to take the story somewhere.
Yeah,
But wouldn't you rather have seen it in this?
I I appreciated the level of them mess with each other because they did kind of it was a different kind of teasing. Like it
Mm.
wasn't the plain pranks. It was like more familial teasing. Like, yeah, you'll say something and I'll clap back at you, but it's not that we're actually arguing with
Yeah,
each other or anything like that. We're just
I
poking
don't have to
jabs.
worry about you putting cut glass in my cereal.
Exactly. I don't need you like chipping off rocks off your hand and putting it into my box of cereal before I go to eat
Right.
it. But
That's
like
horrible.
him, like he did because he did say flame on because when he was messing with the little figurine that he got out of the box, and he
No, the
was
figurine said flame
well, the
on.
figurine said flame on. He didn't say
Figurine said
flame on.
flame on repeatedly.
And then Ben just crushed it in his the fact that he crushed
And
it in his hand and then blew it in his face,
made it a
that's what I
dust.
appreciated.
So that makes me think he touched stuff and makes it turn to rock too, because that was a powdery dusty.
Well, I mean, he
God damn.
does have super strength.
Dude, do you know how much pressure it'll take to turn plastic? It has to dry out first before it can get
Listen,
dusty.
comic book movie.
Yeah, you're right. Let me turn that off. Let me turn that all the way off.
But
So Sue is the strongest. I understand what you're saying. It would
yeah,
have been nice to gauge her power to, yes, you're fighting a god, so it should be a she did die though, Spider.
she did
She
die.
did she
She
did die. She
expended
was literally
the
dead.
limits of her abilities. But before we get into that, because I know you asked about the clobbering time thing,
It's clobbering time.
I one, and it might have just been the way I heard it in the theater, and I might be misremembering it. But I felt like when he said it, when he finally came out and said it, he like almost mumbled his way through it. Like it didn't
Yeah.
feel like it was an enunciated. It's clobbering
No.
time,
No, well, that's the rocks in his throat. Guess you gotta
possibly.
sometimes you gotta gargle a little.
And
Uh
beyond that, I think it was a little ill timed. So we get that moment right after Galactus is about to rip Reed apart. Like there
yeah.
is this
Oh my God.
insanely
I felt
tense
bad for
moment of
what?
Galactus stretching Reed beyond his
Oh
limit,
my
like
God.
his
Yeah.
stretchy uniform that stretches with the limits of his body is ripping because that's how much he's being stretched out. And this is Reed screaming in pain, and then you
Yeah.
just cut to Ben and Johnny. What time is it? Johnny, no, say it. I don't want to say it. And it's like you have this joke moment
Right.
right after this insanely tense panicking
Right.
moment, and it
There's
just
Marvel
for me
for you.
it just didn't mesh right.
But what time is it, Spider?
But
Reed's
no,
about to die.
it really
You
was about to
gotta
die.
say it.
But they I felt like there were because you look at the scenes that we saw in the trailers, and there was so many trailers, so many TV spots. There was a lot
Oh
of
yeah.
stuff that was
Yeah.
shown prior to the movie coming out that was not in the movie. And there were a lot of scenes that seemed like they were smash cut together. and the tone of the emotion didn't follow through, right? Because you had the scene where they know that Galactus is coming. They devise a plan. They try to, teleport the world somewhere else so Galactus wouldn't find them. Silver Surfer comes in,
Hey,
destroys all the beacons, and they have to
hold
create.
on, hold on.
Yeah, what's up?
I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to stick a pin right there. So
Okay,
if I case I forget, right there is where I want you to go ahead.
we're talking about them teleporting the planet.
Yes,
Okay,
right there.
it's right there.
Okay.
So
There.
that plan fails. They have to come up with another plan, and the only plan that they can think of is to use Franklin as bait, as a diversion, because they have one platform left. And so when they're discussing this, they've already had the conversation where Reed has said that I'm cursed because I don't dream, I don't fantasize. I live in my head where I have to think up of every single negative outcome so I can hurt those who are trying to hurt us before they can hurt us. And so they all know, well, at least Sue knows what he's thinking, but he's like, no, there's another way. There's something else we can do. We can figure it out. But Sue's like, no, I already know that you've had this idea in your head. You just don't want to
Mm-hmm.
say it. And Johnny and Ben are coming to terms with them talking about using Franklin as a diversion or as bait. They're all against it, but Sue is so furious at the idea, not just because that the idea is to use Franklin as bait, but the idea that there's no other alternative for them to be able to
And she
succeed.
knows.
And she knows that. And she gets so upset that this is the eventuality that they've come to. She turns invisible and she storms off. She
Yes.
leaves the room, and the guys are standing there like they have to kind of just take in this outburst that she's had. And then in the very
Yes.
next scene, she's standing outside with Franklin in the stroller. And they're in the middle of the platform, and they're about to start planning their bait and switch. And it's like, I don't feel like we
Extreme.
we had enough time
We
to
dealt with
sit
that.
with that
Yeah.
emotion before we go to the next one. And they did the same thing where Sue and Reed were kind of arguing when Reed said that, I have to think of all the ways that they can hurt us before they do. And then Sue's like, well, when you do that, sometimes you hurt me too.
Mm.
And they have that scene and they sit with it for a
And
moment.
we,
And then next thing you know, we go to a scene and she's taking Franklin, she's going outside.
yeah, we're not dealing with that at all.
Exactly. And so I don't know if they had to cut the movie to be shorter because this was, how long was the movie?
Not
Runtime. It
long
wasn't
enough.
insanely long, no.
I think it's
Runtime,
2 hours.
an hour and 55 minutes, less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's short by MCU standards. So I don't know why it had to be cut this short, but I felt like
I'm
they
gonna say
could have
this.
put some more in it and actually flesh some scenes out.
Yeah, because Sue going down there to that ravenous crowd.
Right.
Uh,
They're yelling at you to go sacrifice your baby and you just go walk out.
Look, I understand you trying to make a statement, but let's be safe. First of all, why are we taking a pregnant woman into space? Nothing against, nothing that you about to leave in the comment section right now. I'm not even looking at you because I'm not even going there with you. But you should not bring a
Yeah.
lady that's expecting. Clearly, she was very soonly due, superhero or not. She's like, I'm not missing out on this action. You ain't gonna be going out in space and seeing stuff without me. I'm coming, Reed. And Reed gonna be like, okay, dear. Like, you gotta put your hands down, man. You you gotta stay here, honey, because the baby is important and your safety is important, and
Mhm.
we'll see you when we get back. I think everything would have happened the same way. He would have came to
I'm
bargain like
wondering
Doctor Strange, and you would have
I'm,
been like, nah, give me your child. And
I'm
be like,
wondering
nah.
how different that conversation would have gone if if Sue hadn't gone up to Galactus's ship. Because was he coming to Earth?
Even aware of Franklin.
Right, because Shalabal said that she was the one, or they deduce that she's the one that selects the planets. So did she
Uh-huh.
select the planet because of Franklin, Or did she just so happen that was just a random planet that she selected because they were
I don't think I don't think she was thinking about Franklin because she has kids or she had a daughter, and
right?
so I don't
And
think she
she
would
even
intentionally
said
do
when
it.
she got back to the ship, she was like, "He's just a baby."
And then the Galactus crashed out.
He
You saw
force
that?
choked her.
He crashed
He
out.
force
Do some
choked her.
Darth Vader shit. You gonna choke this lady because she talked about the baby?
Don't
Like I
question
don't
me.
give.
Don't question me.
He
Don't
like
question my
he like
motives.
fuck them kids. Yeah, he gonna be my hero, and
He's
I'm gonna
like,
train. You gonna
I have a
satisfy my
way
hunger.
to get rid of this hunger, and I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to get rid of this hunger.
That's what happened when you on those stuff. You get the munchies. That's all that is, Galactus. You need to get out that stuff, Galactus. You get the munchies. You
Get
out
those
here choking
get
women.
get those tubes out your back.
Uh-huh. That's the monkey. The
Just the figurative monkey on his back that he got to get off. Look,
get them tubes off your back.
Reed tried to help him. You see what happened to Reed? Reed was about to let it all go. He said, "No,
See,
you
that's
ain't." He's about to go turn him to Stretch Armstrong.
see, that's what I'm talking about. So you try to help them when they ain't ready to get out off that monkey, man. They
They
start you.
retaliate.
They look, hey man, you choking women. That's not right. You
It's
need
not.
help, dude. When you sit on them thrones,
See,
you, you,
that's what it was. He
you sit
came
on
down.
them.
He came down to Earth. They tried to get him into the triangle so they could launch an intervention. That's why they were all standing.
This is what I've learned, Spider. You can't sit down in the MCU. Everybody sit on a chair. Got a problem.
Yeah.
Thanos. He got
Mm-hmm.
that chair. Look, Gamora hated that chair. Kang. Kang got a chair.
Kang
Time
had a
travel
show.
chair. You can sitting in that chair. Fucked up. You get out that chair. Who
Killmonger
else
sat on
got
the
a chair?
throne.
Sat on that throne. He sat on it. Loki.
Yeah.
I'm throwing that. Hey. All right. We also had King sitting on there too, Black Panther and Thor, but that's not the point. Odin sat on the throne. I'm just saying, you start sitting on things, it go either way.
Right.
What happened when Scarlet Witch was watching the Darkhold? She was floating, but they're sitting in
She
a
was
sitting
sitting. She
position.
was in a sitting position in the air.
There you go. She had an invisible throne. Yeah, I don't know. She was at a temple. It's a throne. Same thing. I'm just saying, watch yourself when you're sitting down. Things gonna happen. Fantastic Four. No flame on.
No flame
Okay,
on.
I'm leaving it alone. I'm leaving it alone. Maybe they're
So
doing
what
like,
about you wanted to talk about them teleporting the Earth, teleporting the entire planet.
listen, I know that this is a standalone movie, but I also know who we're talking about. This is the Marvel Studios and this is Disney. And if
Mm-hmm.
Disney not thinking about money, you looking at the wrong Disney. So they're always thinking this interconnected universe. We did not have some stuff that set up anything else in another movie outside of the post credit scene. But what I was thinking was going to happen was something very similar that the DC has done in their Infinite Worlds storyline, which was having the planet phase through the antimatter wave that comes through when DC has their crisis
Mm-hmm.
situation. So I was thinking, oh my God, they're going to use these teleporters to try to save the 616 because we've seen a Fantastic Four into the Thunderbolts world, the 616. They're going to bring that technology. That's how they're going to save it from an incursion. That's what's up. And then Charlotte Ball showed up and took
Say,
all that
hey,
shit away.
fuck
She's
all
like,
that.
nah, fuck all that, what y'all talking about. And she came out of nowhere, zipping across the
Dude,
goddamn globe just to show you how
too
fast she
too
was.
fast. Too fast.
Knock that down. Knock that down. I'm gonna stop over here. I'm gonna eat a little. Knock that down. Come back. Knock that down. It would have been funny if she would start taking like photos and selfies at
Taking selfies.
landmarks. That would have been
Eiffel Tower.
hilarious.
Ah.
Cause y'all ain't gonna have it no more. All this, I just got all this. Dude, I wish somebody do it in a parody, like cause she had enough time. She faster than Quicksilver.
Yeah.
The surfing, loving life, like y'all gonna die. Bye. But she showed up and knocked them towers, and I wasn't expecting that. I enjoyed that.
No, I wasn't either. I because we had the nod to they had the like the Future Foundation Council meeting and they're meeting with all
I
the
don't know
world
how they had
powers and
that. I don't even
everything.
know how they had that. I don't even know how they had that. I don't even know how they had that.
Because they had to introduce Latveria and show that Latveria was a part of
But he
this
wasn't
world.
though.
Well, I'm saying that the Latverian country exists and that he had a seat at the
Why?
table because
Why?
you
He
have to
wasn't
make the
there.
connection of Doctor Doom at some point.
No, 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 no. Because now you're saying that this Doctor Doom is from the universe of the Fantastic Four,
Well,
or not?
I don't think that that's what they're saying because we saw that there was a point in the movie where they're all sitting down at dinner and then
Uh
sirens start
huh.
going off and they go to the window.
Uh
It's
huh.
like, do we need to act? And Reed is like, no, this is an initiative that I've been working on. I'm
Uh huh.
tracking the Puppet Master and the Thinker and Diablo and all of these
All
other criminal
these
factions
named
and basically
Fantastic Four
just, yeah,
villains.
all of their rogues gallery. And I'm sending the cops after all of them, right? And I think that if Doctor Doom, if Victor Von Doom had become Doctor Doom in this 828 universe, then I think he would have been on Reed's radar. That would have been an
I don't
area
think Victor Von
of,
Doom is smart enough to avoid Rita's
well,
puny little
I
surveillance.
on his radar as a sense that he knows about Doom and he knows that Doom is a threat. And I think that instead of calling Mole Man, I think that that call would have been to Victor because Victor is as just as an intelligent mind as Reed. And if you need to help save the entire planet, you would want someone who is just as smart, if not smarter than you, trying to help you figure out solutions. And I think that he would have reluctantly reached out to him, or at least they would have made a comment. It's like, maybe we should ask
Spider,
Victor, you know, maybe we
Spider,
should ask Doom, you know, say something about him being
Spider,
that person. Yes,
Spider. Big Sean brilliantly created a bot. I don't know if you know it.
probably not.
It's a very, very big album, big record. There's controversy involved with it as well. It's a huge song from the song is entitled "I Don't Fuck with You." He goes further and he said, "You little stupid ass bitch, I ain't fucking with you."
Yes, I am familiar with the
He goes
lyrics.
further and said, you little
Dumbass.
dumb ass bitch, I ain't fucking with you." He goes even further and say, "I got a million trillion things I'd rather fucking do than to be fucking with you." And then he gets in the little melody with it.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Let me tell you why Reed Richards would not call Victor Von Doom. He won his woman. That's it right there. I'm not about to call her
which
dude that,
again, which would have
all us good. I won't give up my child, but we'll all die before I call. Ain't gonna give up my child, but we
which
all will die if I gotta
which
call
I
him.
think would have built into the story of that canonically being such a very tumultuous like rivalry between them for
Let me
Sue
tell
to
you something,
suggest that.
Spider. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. The fact that you see how Reed got along well with the mole man. He wants Sue. He not a threat. Sue ain't about to lay in the dirt.
Right.
Victor got a whole country. Make it
I,
make sense,
I'm
Spider.
just saying. I thought
Don't worry about that face.
I think that that would have been a better nod
Huh?
to
Spider,
Doom.
would you call somebody that
No,
wants your
I'm
wife?
not saying that he has to call her. I'm saying that bring his name up as a
Bring his
suggestion.
name up.
Yes, because he's the second smartest or the smartest man on the planet. He has an intelligence that rivals Reed's. And if you
Lil
want the
Wayne
smartest
dropped the
minds
line.
to try to,
Lil Wayne dropped the line in the Carter Six. He said, "Fuck that nigga if I ain't that nigga." Okay, that's what he say. If I ain't him, fuck him. That's what I'm saying. Vic, what? I wish I would. I wish I would get a
so
phone bill with a Victor
how do
Von
you
Doom
feel
with a
that
Lavarian number on.
How do you feel Doom should have been introduced in if the Future Foundation UN Council wasn't the way to do it?
For quite honestly, with everything going on with Marvel and the MCU and the huge announcement that they made that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the MCU to play Victor Von Doom in the
Mm-hmm.
Multiverse Saga, how they introduce him is a perfect way of introducing them. Because for anybody that's not us in this world that follow comics that don't know that he's coming back yet, they subtly, softly introducing him. Not to
I
mention
mean, that
that
wasn't really
announcement.
subtle. Just walked out
Well,
on stage and ripped the mask off.
it's him, haha. But the majority of this movie was actually filmed already before we even got that announcement.
Right.
So I
Which
I
is,
knew.
I firmly believe that the Doctor Doom that we see in the end credits is not Robert Downey Jr.
And it's probably not. And it's honestly probably not. They just put that in there for their reasons. If not,
Also, doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense.
it really doesn't. Because why does he want? He no one knows what Franklin can do.
Right.
Only Galactus knows.
I
Even his
and
parents didn't even know.
I
Reed stopped testing. He's like,
yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna stop testing.
I'll
You're
let
gonna
you
tell me.
tell me who you are. And I love the part he was like, if you want to tell me like right now, that would be preferable.
So how does Victor know? It doesn't make
You
sense. You're
said
absolutely right.
he's just smartest man in the planet.
Uh, no, I'm not calling. I don't care. We all gonna die. Look, let him save us then. If he's the smartest man, I'm gonna go over here with my newborn baby and my wife. But if I'm the second smartest man on the planet, why you blowing up my phone?
And
Because
so
they
and
asked him, man, are we safe? The most realist answer he gave. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. And that's something because you'll have a lot of these Fantastic Four purists that says that, oh well, Reed always has an answer, Reed always has a solution, Reed always has something
And
that
right, he did. He said, I don't know. Y'all didn't hear him say, I don't know. That's the answer. The
but
fuck?
no, I appreciate I like the vulnerability that they allowed Pedro
Beautiful
Pascal
choice
to
of words.
show
Beautiful choice of words.
Reed to have,
Beautiful
because
choice of words.
you can have a cold, unfeeling intellectual, right? And it's
Hmm.
always about the numbers, it's always about logistics, it's always about what's
Hmm.
the most logical thing to do. A Spock type character. But
Yes.
even, with Spock being half Vulcan, half human, he still has
Yes.
emotions. Reed is just a human. Reed is not devoid of emotions. Reed just has an atypical neuroses where he has to analyze the shit out of everything and try to be the first person to come up with the best case scenario in case everything else goes wrong. And so, of course, that takes him out of living life in the moment. But to show him worry.
That's why they come to this show, Spider. They hear you articulate shit like that. That was beautifully put, sir.
But what I like is that we open the movie, we see Sue in the bathroom, she's taking a pregnancy test. And when they find out that she's pregnant, Reed is like, well, we've been trying for 2 years. Like,
Hmm.
and then as soon as it like he gets over that initial elation, like, oh my God, it's finally happening. And it's like you see a
Hmm.
switch flip in his brain and he starts analyzing and calculating. It's like, okay, so
They start
not
baby
just
proof in the house.
not even just baby proofing the house is like, okay, well, we're gonna have to run tests because obviously the cosmic rays that have
Yes.
modified our DNA, something is gonna have to had happened to him. So this is the machine that I need, these are the tests I need to run, this is what I need to look for. All of that stuff is going on in his head. And we see Sue is like really the main character of this story
Of
because
course.
she's the one keeping everything together. She's the one trying to
Yes.
reassure everybody.
As a
When
family.
Shalabal comes to the earth and says, "Are you the protectors of this world?" Who stands up and
Yeah,
says that we are?
she was out of pocket. Yeah, she was out of pocket. Reed, go
Because
get your Go get your girl,
Because
Reed. She out of pocket, speaking out of turn.
Sue was like,
That's
"We
what.
are," and then Reed turned
Yeah,
and looked at her like, "What? Wait, what?"
yeah, yeah. You beta on that one. You out of pocket, dude. You need to come get your
Like,
girl, bro. She don't.
why would you say that? But then when they come back after facing Galactus and they were like, "Oh, can you tell us how we beat Galactus?" And Ben was like, "Well, we didn't." And Johnny's trying to save face was like, "Not yet. We didn't beat him yet." And then Reed just spills everything. He wanted us to give us our child, and of course we said no. And then everybody's like, "You said no?" Like
Yeah,
Reed really thought in his
dude,
mind, like, I can tell these people the honest truth, which of course kudos to him because he's not going to lie to him. But
dude.
for him to
That part
think
was
that that
pivotal.
was going to be okay with them
I was in the audience like, please don't say the truth. Please don't say the truth. Please. And they turned on them
immediately. Immediately. You
immediately.
had
Like,
people probably camped out on that landing pad for a month waiting for them to come back
and that's
into
what
the
I'm saying.
stratosphere. And he
I'm
gets in there and has
surprised they
that press
didn't.
conference and just like that.
I'm surprised that they didn't storm that goddamn
The Baxter
Baxter
building.
building.
Yeah.
Like they were out there protesting, but let's let the sky catch fire again. They're climbing the walls. I'm an American. I seen January 6th. They're coming in.
And then
You
again, clearly 828 is a different world because when Reed said that, hey, I'm building these machines to teleport our world so we can be safe, but everybody has to stop using their power. So there's a
right?
curfew every night. You got to turn your power off, and this only works if
Mm.
everybody else does it. And everybody did it. And
Captain Planet, he's a hero.
And can you just imagine if our world was actually cooperative in
Dude, I
that
can't
way? The
get people to
things
turn
that
the light off
we can't
at
even
the
get everybody
house.
to wear. We can't get
What?
everybody to wear a mask in a global pandemic. You want everybody to turn their power off at a certain
We
time?
asking for a lot. I got asking for a curfew. Everybody,
Absolutely not.
you you know somebody immediately like, man, fuck them. I ain't doing
I
shit.
ain't listening to shit Ree got to
I
say.
ain't
I'm
doing
leaving
that.
my lights
That ain't
on.
my kid.
You see, you see, you see the whole entire United States. Everybody turn the lights off. Just one house with the lights on.
That's fucking Craig. I know it's Craig. I know it's his ass.
Craig, turn your damn lights off.
Oh my goodness, man. Hey, so there's so much going on with this movie. Because if Mole Man wasn't even in the movie, first of all, Sue, stop speaking for everybody. See, that was the opportunity, Spider, for you to say Victor Von Doom right there. You're like, are you the protector to this? Nah, nah, nah. They got a dude
They
over
got a
there in
dude in Latveria.
Liberia.
You need to go holler at him.
He's the smartest dude, and she'll be like, "You so petty." I'll be like, "Nah, he in Liberia. Go and get him. He the smart." Same message would have been the same, and Victor wouldn't have did shit. But
No,
I don't understand why they put him in there. It wouldn't have made a difference if he was in there or not. To
it
be
really
honest with
wouldn't.
you, it wouldn't have been a Fantastic Four movie without Doctor Doom, but it could have been, and it would have made a difference because there's no reason for him to know why he attacking or even come in to see Franklin with your mask off. You just rude. You just come in people's house and don't announce yourself.
Right.
Start touching their children. Like you a real villain. Like, come on, dude. What you doing? You don't even know them like that. You go get yours. You'll see. If you mess with time, it tends to mess back. You'll see. Did you think it was super though, Spider? This new version of this only version of the Fantastic Four that's ever hit the silver screen.
The one Fantastic Four
The
movie.
one Fantastic Four that they finally got right uh in the
They
MCU. Its first debut ever in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I will say that this is in no way a perfect movie.
Oh,
There's a lot
oh,
going on with it.
okay.
There's a lot
There is.
of I won't call it jankiness, but there's a lot of very obvious CGI areas where
That
things
baby looked
didn't.
crazy. Yeah, go ahead, talk about it.
It
That
did.
baby looked suspect. You
And
thought you was watching the Flash.
it's so it's so odd to me because if you have the Thing, a full
Yeah,
body
nice.
CG character,
Okay.
and why are you having him, like, I understand story wise why,
Okay.
but from a film perspective, why would you make Ben the person who's primarily carrying Franklin all the time? It's
Right.
like every time you see Franklin being carried around, Ben has him, and
Well,
it's like,
merge those
is
CGIs together.
it, and it just
Save some
it didn't
money.
always work. There were sometimes it was less noticeable, but there were some times where it was just that final scene where Ben is handing Franklin to Reed, and then Reed is putting Franklin on Sue's chest. That CG, however they composited that, it didn't look great.
Not at
Um,
all.
but on top of that, on top of, been having a beard for some reason, um
I appreciate
again,
them doing something
is
different. Like
it's
that's
just,
weird.
yeah, it's different. It just seemed out of place in the movie,
Does very
like,
much so.
because the thing about it was that he wasn't just shaving like his beard, like he had rocks, like his rocks were growing like out on all of his face.
Yeah,
So
that
it's just
feels
like,
unfortunate.
yeah,
I feel
but
like I hate Reed more now. Because that means he's
Ben forgave
mutating.
him.
He's continuously mutating.
Yeah, and he has to
Hopefully
sand his
only in the
face
beard
down.
area.
But no, beyond all of that, I really feel like if any movie needs a director's cut, I feel like this needs a director's cut, because I feel like there
Mm,
was a lot more. We had John Malkovich in the trailer. John
we
Malkovich was supposed to
did.
have like a crew of genetically
Intelligent
altered
apes.
apes, and
Yep.
we get a lot of the action of the Fantastic Four being the Fantastic Four was all seen in montages.
Mm.
And other than the fight or battle that they had with the Silver Surfer, and then at the end Galactus, we didn't really get to see the Fantastic Four be the Fantastic
Be
Four too
Fantastic
much.
Four.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
But
Yep.
I still appreciate that they told a great story in between. The story was chopped up, and I'm assuming that there's a lot on the editing floor that I would love to see, but
They
it
could
was
dance on
still
it.
a great story showcasing incredible family dynamics. Like you said,
Mm.
acted expertly by the entire cast. Everybody did an
Mm.
amazing job. The relationship between Sue and Reed was great. The relationship between Ben and Reed was great. I felt like everybody, even when they were all together, I felt like the family dynamic wasn't as prevalent as when they were like paired off in like
Mm.
paired off like in twos and threes, because like the
Mm.
scene where Ben is in Johnny's room laying on the bed and they're just chatting and they're talking about Sue, and then Sue pops up like just from invisible,
Right.
and they jump and they're starting like, you got to stop doing that. I hate it when she does that. It's like that's something that a family would do. If you had somebody in
Yes.
your family that could turn invisible, how often would they just spook the shit out of you and just pop up in your room?
I don't even want to live in the same house. I have no privacy, and that's frightening.
And
That's horrible.
it's little moments like that.
Like put a bell on at all times. You
At
can't
all
be in a house without
times.
a bell. I need to know where you at.
But no, it's little moments like that that were the lifeblood of this movie, and it kept the through line of the family dynamic. It just kept it going and it
Family
kept it alive.
first.
And for that, I'll say, yeah, it was super for me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Spider, look at you. Look at you. I
No,
feel like you
I
need a
really enjoyed the movie. It was really
I
good.
feel like you need a spider with a four on it. It'll work. It could work.
I,
It
I,
could be the
I guess. I mean, Spider Man was a part of the Future Foundation, but yeah, no, his uniform didn't have a four on it. When he was the Bombastic Bagman, he had a Fantastic Four uniform on.
he also didn't have shoes.
He also did not have shoes, and he had a bag on his head. So
So that's I need you to want better for yourself. You don't need a bag on your face.
you
You're an
don't, you
attractive
don't.
man. Let the world know. Let the world see. Live
But
in your
I
truth.
mean, again, Spider Man is one of the few major known MCU heroes that hides his identity.
Yeah, that's the thing. he's few and far between.
Yeah.
And I think he's iconic for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. And when he revealed who he was murdered immediately. So
I mean,
we
it's
went
there's
we
been
went right back to covering the face.
there's been a few times. There's been a few times. But when it comes to the Fantastic Four first steps, Mr. VIP Frankie Washington, is
Sir,
it super?
is it so?
Is it super?
Here's a controversial take. No, no, for me it wasn't. I'm just gonna be 100. It was not. Well, whoa, 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 whoa. Before y'all start to roast me, hold on. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. I'm not saying it's not an enjoyable movie. Yes, if you're a fan of the Fantastic Four, this is one for you. This is one that you want to enjoy. This is the best iteration of the Fantastic Four since the comics. This is comparable to the Incredibles one, and maybe kind of Incredibles two. I'm waiting for the Incredibles three to come out so we can see if they actually get the Underminer. This kind of dismisses that and take the Underminer and puts him. He's not the Underminer. He's a mole man, but I'm saying you put him in like a friend zone. So it's interesting how that dynamic plays out. But
Don't be mad at me, Johnny. I didn't dress you.
he was on it. He was on it. He was on point. I appreciate him for that. Here's the thing. I feel like it was safe. I felt like it was
Do
too
you?
safe. I felt like they didn't. I know we had to establish things, but like you said, we knew the story already.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who are uninitiated with the story, great, they have this and they'll love it. But at the same time, I felt like what we got was good, but I feel
Not
like
super.
you said, I feel like it was not super because, like you were saying, I feel like there's so much that we didn't get.
Right.
For what we got, it was great. I don't think it's super.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was bad either. It's just not fantastic four worthy in the sense of I think like it didn't it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I would watch it many more times if that's a compliment. But I do think it's safe. I think it's a safe movie. I think they did not want to do too much because they did not want to have a situation that it was not a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they succeeded at that. They made a good movie. Is it a great movie? No, it's not a super movie. Maybe it's a great movie for some. It's for me, it's not super. But yes, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Fantastic Four. When it was the Fantastic Five, they shot that shit down. It's like, no. We just got here. We're
Ted
gonna
wants
be
to know
full
if you'll
for a
put
while.
Franklin in this. They looked at each other. Hell no.
No, you crazy as shit. We got a little five on here. No, no.
Like it's too soon. Like he's a baby. Like you really want us to start bringing a baby around and to every like we go fight the thinker and we gotta bring Franklin. Gotta
I'm
we
just gonna
saw
be
how long it
100.
took them to put the car seat in a fantastic car.
Uh, this is true, and I appreciate that because that was real.
That is very
But
real.
here's the thing: Franklin is a life bringer, so
Maybe they should be
I,
taking him.
I'm just saying that. So clearly, he brought his mother back. I mean, he mother, father, uncle, Ben. You made a
It is
rock, so you like
essentially uncle.
uncle-ish. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be as fast as he go bring Johnny back, but eventually he'll get in that area that he cared enough about him.
Well, I mean, there was a run in the comics where Johnny died and Franklin didn't bring him back.
Yeah, because he's like, fuck that guy. That's what happens, man. You should have look. If the Silver Surfer don't warn him
So just let him die.
about it, if nothing else, we've established one thing. I text you and I told you we've established that the board
That is not a
is
part of her
not a
body.
part of the body. We joke. But clearly, we're going to see Doctor Doom on the surfboard because
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand that the board is not a part of her body. So
Right.
anybody could ride the board if they could catch it. Now, I don't know how that works. Clearly, can melt into the board or even call the board from wherever it's at.
Yeah, because they knocked her off
I
the
don't see how
board.
Doctor Doom could ride it, but of course, if you oh yeah. She got knocked off and she fell in the lava. And guess what? She rolled up with that board on the feet. And she was pissed off.
She
I'm like,
was.
y'all done fucked up.
Yeah.
If Minister had a face, it would be I don't know fuck about fuck. I'm coming. She did her job on that. And a lot of it was mocap or CGI. But I love the fact that they was able to capture at least some facial expressions in there.
Yeah.
They stepped it up, and that was amazing because the one that they did with the Silver Surfer before, that was pretty ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was, I would say it was pretty innovative for its time. But like the mirror effects of the liquid metal and the way that he was able to fly through buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then to have Johnny's face reflecting her face
Yeah,
this time around, which was not something they had before. It was a different type of metal, but clearly that's a lot of money to do that, Spider, because they did that one time and that was enough.
right. It was like he's never getting that close again.
We're not getting that close again. She will kick you off and be like, Jim, bye, I'm gone. Where you think we're gonna see him again since we teleported Galactus and the Silver Surfer halfway, well, all the way across the.
The universe. And then he doesn't have a ship because his ship is still orbiting outside of Earth somewhere.
Yeah, the Eternals go get it or something. They just got it. It's out there. You know, maybe this could be Sword's new shit. You know,
Something.
they out there.
The sword of
Scro-
828.
Scrolls.
Yeah, I don't know because they teleported him somewhere like near a black hole. No, because they messed with
First
the
of all, they teleported her. I mean, she was near a black hole and went
right.
damn near in it if she didn't go in it, and she still came back.
True,
So I don't know how she flies fast.
she does.
So
So I
halfway
I
across the world or
I
all the way
don't
across the
know.
universe, she'll be back in 2 weeks.
She would, but Galactus won't. Because
Ooh, so
I
that
mean
brings me back.
we never saw Galactus fly.
We that brings me back to the question I just asked. Where do you see? Where do we see her next?
I
Because clearly
don't
she's
know.
not gone.
No, she's not. But I don't know when or if we see either one of them again. Because I mean,
Gotta
if the
see him.
focus, if the next big bad, the big focus is Doom.
Secret Wars. Listen, somebody we're gonna have to take roll call. Kevin Feige is already going on record saying there's gonna be a soft reboot after Secret Wars. So
Yeah,
that means they not phasing the planet. Somebody go die, and then probably two planets go die, or two universes or timelines. It's all the same thing. We're gonna
and they'll probably
crash
have
into the.
Franklin do a reboot of the entire universe.
So you don't think the Silver Surfer go make the cut?
I mean,
We
if
need to do a
she
show about that. Who's
does,
gonna make the cut?
I mean, that's
Because
impossible to
that's an
tell.
episode. Yeah, well, Echo ain't gonna make the cut.
We know that 100%.
That's horrible. Was this
So,
Moon
I
Knight gonna
mean, I
make the
feel like
cut?
that's factual.
She healed Kingpin. You forgot? She healed him with her
Did
echolocation
she?
touch.
Because Kingpin is the same person that he was before she
I
touched
think
him.
I think he's more evil
I think
now.
he's worse.
I think he's I think he's eviler. I don't know what she did.
Before he used to just be ruthless and just kill people. Now he locking people up, beating on them for sport, eating sausage in front of them.
He squished somebody's head with his bare hands. I
He
think
did.
Echo did that. She gave him that ability.
Yeah.
I don't know if yeah, she can't make them. She need to be stopped.
It ain't
Try to
work
take
right.
her shoe.
That was
Take
that was
her
that was
boot.
that was her first one. That was her first one. She needs some practice with it. She didn't get the instructions right.
Y'all here amping up sucking
It's
supervillains.
right over left. She did left over right. It went the wrong way.
We could do a whole show about who gonna make the cut. I'm telling you, that's gonna be hilarious.
The first thing we would have to do is amass an entire roster of who we all have available right now.
Well, we know Daredevil's gonna make the cut.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's gonna
No,
make the
are we
cut.
talking? Are we
Well, actually,
talking?
Spider-Man might not make the cut.
Are we talking main characters? Or are we going like into support people as well? Are we talking about like Karen
Let's
and
do one, and I actually think Maria Hill's coming back.
I she's not. After
I
the
think
universe is rebooted,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
if
whoa,
we
whoa,
get
whoa,
another
whoa,
Nick
whoa.
Fury, then maybe we'll get another Maria Hill.
Wh- I'm telling you, we're talking character, not actor.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
actress. I'm talking about the
Okay,
character. That's what I'm saying.
okay.
If we get another Shield and Nick Fury, then yeah, we'll probably get another Maria
So we'll
Hill.
get another Colson too, then.
Maybe not, because I feel like
Whoa,
Coulson wasn't really a big name until he was played
whoa.
in the MCU. So I don't know how, because they are not going to want to do, and it's, we're
They
already
did
getting
a
into it.
whole spin-off show,
No,
but
I know
yeah,
that,
y'all might
but I
wanna
don't think that they're going
y'all
to want
watch
to
our
do the
next
same
episode. This is one
thing
y'all gonna
all
wanna do.
over again when it
But we
comes
already
to,
have established characters.
we do have established characters, but we don't have to go back to the well and bring those same characters back again.
You do know Colson had a one shot,
Yeah, I know
and he
Coulson
was
had
in
one
What
shot.
If,
Yes, I know that as well.
and a whole Agents of Shield from
And
that
the
one
Agents of
character.
Shield is not canon to the MCU.
That's not important. It's an off-world It's an off-world universal world
Regardless,
thing.
I think that they'll take the MCU into a different direction and start focusing on mutants.
Fantastic
So Shield is
Four.
probably going to be something that's not going to be in the forefront of the new MCU. Also,
Now, we
the fact
taking
that you did
full
that,
reboot?
yeah, 100%.
I
Because
think
you
it's
have
a
to do a
soft
full
reboot.
you have to do a full reboot, because you can't introduce mutants into the 616 the way it is now. There's no logical way to do that.
Then it can't be the 616. The 616 has to die.
I would love for them to give it a different designation, because it should have never been the 616 to begin with,
It
because the
shouldn't have been the
616 is the
616.
comics universe, and this is
Yes.
vastly different from the comics universe, and everybody who read
Yes.
the comics know that.
Yes.
But yes, so to get rid of that confusing which 616 is the real 616, to get rid of that, all of that, kill it off. 616 ends. We'll have another designation for a number that we never used before.
That would be
42069. I don't
awesome.
care. Whatever
Oh
the
wow.
number is
That
gonna be.
seems very specific. What does that number mean to you, sir?
Absolutely nothing. But no,
Okay.
did want to say that I love the use of the Fantastic Four theme throughout the movie.
Yes. Yes.
Other than the Avengers theme, because like every MCU superhero has their own theme, and it's
Loki has one too.
yeah, I don't normally pick up on the themes as they play throughout the movies until like I hear the main theme when they come back around in like in an Avengers level movie or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
the way that the Fantastic Four theme was used throughout the film, and it had like different variations of it depending on the situation they
Mm-hmm.
were in. It was a little faster or a little slower
Mm-hmm.
or played with a different
Mm-hmm.
instrument. I
Mm-hmm.
thought it was
Playing
absolutely
safe.
great. I
Yeah,
don't
that's how
think
you
it was.
play it safe.
Is that how you play it safe?
Yes, because that's already been proven with the Avengers. It is an award-winning formula because you get indoctrinated with that's the word I'm sticking with it with that theme. So therefore, when it chimes in, you can't help but to rally. Yes,
I,
we've
I
been
mean,
incepting
I
it
wouldn't
in
consider that playing it safe. I would just, that's making a good theme.
fantastic quattro.
Let us know what you think about the Fantastic Four first steps. Did you enjoy the movie? Do you think it is super? Is it something that you enjoyed and you are looking to see again? But remember also, if you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you can be notified when we have new episodes that come out. If you want the audio version of the podcast, just search for All Things Super on your favorite podcast streaming platform. And if you want to reach out to us on social media, just click the link in the description below.
If you leave comments, we'll read them. Sometimes we'll read them in a seductive voice. Sometimes we'll read them by
Never agreed to
candlelight.
that.
Sometimes
Never
we'll
agreed to
read
that either.
them. Sometimes we'll read them on the show.
We will read them on the
Sometimes
show.
we have done that. So there, know that. The other things I said were probabilities. It's a possibility it could happen, but it's not
But
as
no, but
probable as other things.
I'm 100% with you. I do think that we should have a discussion about where the MCU is going.
Oh,
But
somebody's
for
gonna
right
die and
now,
be
well,
dead.
we already know that people are gonna die. But
Well,
now, where we're leading to, because we know we're going towards Doomsday, we know we're going towards Secret
yeah,
Wars, we know we have another Spider-Man movie coming out, we know we have a Wonder Man show coming out. But
yeah.
what does the lives of the MCU characters look like post Secret Wars? Yes, we absolutely could talk about that. But I also want to do with you, we're officially at the start of phase 6, the final
Okay,
phase of
yeah.
the multiverse saga. So,
Uh-huh.
just as we did with phase 4, I want to get some rankings in. We had
Oh shit.
some shows, we had some movies
We,
in
we
phase 5,
we did have some of those.
and I think we should go ahead and get those ranked so we can see how they stack up against each other.
It's
Um,
easy, Spider. I can let you guys know right now. Secret Invasion #1.
So we'll have one episode ranking the TV shows. We'll have one episode ranking the movies. So you all look out for those, because hopefully you'll join us and you'll let us know how our rankings stack up against yours. We are in
Oh
phase
my
6. We are in phase 6. We're getting to the end of the multiverse saga and things are coming to a head. He couldn't even say that with a straight face.
Oh my God, it was so. Hey, Samuel L. Jackson is in there. Don Cheadle is in there,
They
and
are
I
in it.
gotta admit,
Ben Mendelsohn is in it.
I gotta admit, somebody,
Kobe Smulders
somebody,
was in it.
some somebody had to carry that show. I don't know where they carried it to, but they
I was
carried
about
it.
to say, did somebody carry it though?
They carried it and they immediately put it down and said, "I
Amelia
don't want
Clark
no
was in
part
it
of
with
this."
her
Yeah.
her,
Oh my
her,
God.
her tiny
Okay.
arm, her tiny
Okay. We
Drax
go.
arm.
It's too much. Too much.
Oh god. But thank you all so much for joining us on this episode. We appreciate all the love and support. We hope to see you in the next one. But just remember, until then, keep being super.
Stop digging in your nose with your bare fingers. Get a tissue. That's nasty.
Also unsanitary.
That's